Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. People, this is part 2 on Is Tofu Healthy? The Tofu Benefits and Disadvantages by Scott Burgett, which is actually known as Plant-Based Scotty or PBS, not to be confused with the Public Broadcast Service. Anyway, I already started with part 1. I hope you'll find that video. But let me go ahead and just briefly review part 1 and finish it with part 2. Obviously, 21 advantages and disadvantages was just too much for one video. But let's get into it. First was just the definition of tofu, which I'll go over again. Tofu comes from soybean curds. It's also naturally a gluten-free product and it has no cholesterol because only animal products have cholesterol. It's made by pressing condensed soy milk into tightly formed blocks called tofu. It's over 2,000 years ago that it was rumored the Chinese had discovered it accidentally by combining soy milk with nigari, which is the coagulant, as the afterproduct of extracting salt from salt water. Then in the early 1900s, most of the soy production was moved to the westernized world, where it dominates the market today. Benefits, number 1, it's a nutritional powerhouse. You only need 3.5 ounces for an amazing serving with just 70 calories and tons of nutrition. Number 2, it's good for your heart. It can cut back on heart disease by 22%. Number 3, it helps to fight diabetes. Number 4, it's protective against cancer. Yes, please. Number 5, it reduces symptoms of menopause, such as hot flashes. A lot of women welcome that. Number 6, it helps to build muscle. So important, especially on a plant-based diet where people are concerned about protein. This is a natural plant-based protein. So cool. And number 7, it helps you sleep better. Number 8, it helps strengthen your bones. Number 9, it can lower your LDL cholesterol. Number 10, it promotes kidney health. Yes, please. I'm always worried about my kidneys since I absolutely was dying from kidney failure not long ago. Number 11, it helps you to eat less, again, because of so much protein. But more than that, it's because of the mu opioid receptors, or the MORs, which communicate to your brain that you can go ahead and eat less. All right, number 12, finally, let's get into it for this part 2. It helps prevent anemia. My gosh, how many women say they suffer from anemia, like low iron in the body? That was true for me, but once I got into a plant-based diet, it was all good. Anemia is a condition that stems from an iron deficiency. It's characterized by low levels of red blood cells and hemoglobin in the bloodstream. Tofu is an excellent source of iron that will help prevent anemia. Since it's more common in athletes, endurance enthusiasts who eat plant-based need to test their iron levels regularly, as they tend to lose it faster than the general population. Additionally, plant-based iron does not absorb as well as animal protein, so vegans and vegetarians should eat more. With a well-planned diet and using a couple of iron absorption hacks, and that's a hyperlink for more information, anemia can easily be avoided. Number 13, so awesome. It stems off osteoporosis. Drinking cow milk can cause osteoporosis. That's just straight up. So, yay God, just going plant-based helps so much anyway. But osteoporosis is linked to several deficiencies, again, a hyperlink. Low calcium being one of them. It's been secretly dubbed the silent killer because many people diagnosed don't recognize the symptoms in the first place. Eating tofu in your daily diet, along with other calcium-rich plant foods like dark leafy greens, that's a huge source of calcium, and almonds, is crucial for osteoporosis prevention. One serving of tofu contains 20% of the RDI, recommended daily, I'm used to saying RDA, recommended daily intake, and I usually say recommended daily allowance. Not a problem. Number 14, it smooths out wrinkles. Okay, I'm loving that. Yes, tofu can help you get smooth skin. A specific isoflavonoid in tofu called alglycon reduces wrinkles in middle-aged women. And I'm just at middle age because I'm going to live to be 112. Why not? Oh, but only with quality. I want to walk off the planet. Okay, one 12-week research study found that women consuming L-glycon, I hope that's right, significantly improved wrinkles compared to control group. If I can speak. It's okay, I don't want to get giggling because I'm overtired. And if you follow me, you know I start giggling when I'm overtired. Part of the other problem is a ton of things are popping up on my screen as I'm trying to do this. My mother just tapped in. My sister just tried to call, like, stuff's coming. And so, yeah, I'm tripping over my words because all that's going down. But this is my JVV community and you're my priority. So, I can speak, even though I taught, I could say, 49 children today. Okay. It's hypothesized that, like estrogen, phytoestrogens, also considered isoflavonoids, can help increase the thickness of the skin. This is also why you may see soy products in your favorite cruelty-free skin creams. And that's a hyperlink if you want to look some up. I have nothing. I know, and everybody knows it. And they're like, Jules, we kind of know you don't wear anything. I know, but sometimes when I have the courage, I will put, like, at the very least, coconut oil on my face. But yeah, it's just me and God right here. Number 15, it contains heart-healthy omega-3s. Omega-3 fatty acids are extremely important for our health. For vegans and vegetarians, it's crucial to get these fatty acids from plant foods, tofu being one choice. And of course, flaxseed, chia seed. I'm just trying to think of some of the better ones. Those are all good ones anyway. These are two types of omega-3s that we need. ALA and EPA or DHA. Tofu contains ALA or ALA fatty acids. In fact, one serving of tofu, again, 3.5 ounces, contains 20% of your daily ALA needs. When shopping for tofu that is high in omegas, choose organic, extra firm tofu. That's exactly the one I get. They have it at Costco, and you can get 4 of them for $5, or I think it's up to $6.50 right now because of the COVID. But come on, you only need a little, and it's amazing. Number 16, it may increase your flatulence, which is a polite word for gas. Right? That doesn't seem to be the case for me, but I'm just not affected like a lot of people. Okay, fact. Beans contain a sugar called oligosaccharides that we cannot break down in our bodies. We just can't. This sugar, also found in tofu, can cause flatulence, especially if you are new to a plant-based diet, but that's just straight up anyway. I don't know. Is that true? I don't know if it's true for beans that are sprouted. I don't think so in that form, but it would be very interesting to me. Tofu comes from soybeans, and while those beans get broken down to form a brick of tofu, it's not always enough to prevent gas. But for me, it seems to be because it's not causing gas for me. Not that I'm going ballistic on it, but I am incorporating some of it. However, there is hope. Chewing your food adequately and eating slowly can help prevent excess flatulence from tofu or from anything, because you're not taking in a ton of air with each bite as you're, like, inhaling the food. Okay, not only that, but tofu's close cousin tempeh, again a hyperlink, and natto are also great alternatives too. But these are fermented soy, and there's a huge difference. But these fermented soy products make it easier for your body to digest. Yeah, once they're fermented, they can be very friendly with your microbiome. Okay, number 17, it may cause problems with hypothyroidism, which I totally have hypothyroidism, which I feel is arrested. And you can go up and look up benefits. How I healed my thyroid. And I claim all sea vegetables for that. I use those instead of levothyroid. And I got off of that medication, and my levels have remained consistent for nearly 3 years. And that's just by incorporating some seaweed into my daily diet. So you can look that up because I tell you all about it. Current evidence surrounding tofu and the thyroid gland draw mixed conclusions. As it stands, tofu contains goitrogens, again a hyperlink. This term comes from goiter, which of course is part of that, which is an enlarged thyroid gland. Goitrogens can sometimes interfere with the normal function of the thyroid gland. Yet evidence, please hear this part, yet evidence from research studies conclude that those with a healthy thyroid should not worry. It's those already diagnosed with hypothyroidism and have an iodine deficiency who are at the highest risk. Again, that's no longer my story. When diagnosed with hypothyroidism, be sure you get enough iodine in your diet, and I do through sea vegetables. To avoid a deficiency, add 1/2 teaspoon of iodine, 1/2 of a teaspoon, you know how little that is, right? 1/2 of a teaspoon of iodized salt per day. Like, that's just enough. It's like when women say that they have to eat a bunch more because they're pregnant, and it turns out that they only need 350 calories more a day. But instead they have 1,500 more for that baby. 1/2 teaspoon of iodized salt. Equally effective, you could take a vegan kelp supplement that has iodine too. So like that just kelp salt, it's not a salt, but it's in a shaker form. Of course, dulse flakes. Of course, there's just so many. Lastly, by simply cooking tofu, you inactivate many goitrogens, thus avoiding any intake in the first place of that issue. Interesting. It contains anti-nutrients. That's kind of funny, right? Let's see. You've probably heard that phytates are not good for your health, but why exactly? A phytate is a phytic acid that is bound to a mineral. Sometimes these phytates can block mineral absorption, particularly with a plant-based diet. However, phytate dangers are widely misstated and are largely based on theory and not conclusive evidence. By simply heating tofu, you can destroy many of the common anti-nutrients, unless you're eating a nutritionally inadequate diet, or if tofu is your sole source of iron on a plant-based diet. There's no reason to fear anti-nutrients, which of course is a hyperlink. Number 19, it can cause digestive difficulty. Eating tofu may cause issues around digestion. The reason is that tofu contains enzymes that are difficult for our intestines to break down, specifically a pancreatic enzyme called trypsin inhibitor. When trypsin inhibitor gets blocked, tofu travels through the gut without being fully digested. This may cause intestinal discomfort in some people who already have intestinal discomfort because their microbiome is so screwed up across the board. Let's be fair. Yet, similar to anti-nutrients, heat plays a significant role in digestion. During the process of creating tofu into a block, the moisture from the heat deactivates most trypsin inhibitors. This deactivation decreases the amount of other residual inhibitors to as low as 5% to 20%. For most people, this will not affect digestion. Number 20, it can increase your exposure to GMOs, only if it's not organic. Eating tofu can increase your exposure to GMOs. However, this is only if you choose non-GMO tofu. GMO foods have also been overhyped as dangerous voids throughout the last decades. A recent 2014 review that combed through the last 10 years of research concluded that no significant hazards were detected from genetically engineered crops. Many claim you read that demonize GMOs are opinions and not based on research. Hey, I'm not into GMOs. And I'm not sure some things are genetically engineered because a lot of food has been changed since its original form. It had to be. I mean, even though we say, oh, I want its original form, the seeds and things that we have these days are not the original seeds at all. They have been multiplied and changed many times over. But yeah, stay away from the poisons and go for organic, which, like I just told you, is $6.50 for 4 of them at Costco. The good news is that if you want to eat non-GMO tofu, options are plentiful. When shopping for tofu, look on the packaging for a label that states, this tofu is non-GMO verified, straight up. Number 21, it can cause an allergy flare. That's interesting. Soy is one of the most common allergies. It's a hyperlink. Some common symptoms include itching, hives, wheezing, nausea, dizziness, and abdominal pain. I am the queen of allergies, and none of that's true for me. Symptoms tend to appear immediately, so if you experience these shortly after eating tofu, you may have an allergy. Young children in particular are also more susceptible to a soy allergy than adults. Thankfully, most of them outgrow the allergy by the age of 10. Most of them outgrow the allergy by the age of 10. However, if your child has an allergic reaction, contact a doctor immediately. Finally, unless a child gets diagnosed with a soy allergy, 1/2 cup of tofu daily is perfectly safe for them to eat. Is tofu healthy? I'm glad you asked. Tofu is safe to consume for both adults and children without allergies or another diagnosed condition that calls for avoiding soy products. A safe upper limit of intake is 5 servings per day for adults and 1 serving per day for children. That's a lot. Because again, much like meat, it's just supposed to complement the meal. It's not supposed to be the whole meal. Among men, and I'm not even saying to eat meat, but what I mean is in our culture, if people were literally eating the meat the size of their fist and complementing the whole rest of the plate with healthy greens and everything else, they'd be so much better off, right? Among other benefits, tofu can help protect your heart, your kidneys, and lower your risk for cancer. If you're new to tofu and or confused about how to eat it, try this recipe. Again, a hyperlink. It's delicious, easy to make, and requires minimal ingredients. All right, what do you think about these tofu benefits and disadvantages? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. Some people were like, oh, tofu, ugh. All I'll say about that is there's different tofus. I like the firm tofu because I like texture. And if you just like press on it to dry it out a little bit, like I totally drained the block, of course. But if you like literally press it or put it in paper towels to dry it out a little bit, it's a very cool texture. You can chop it up into chunks. Like you can do a lot of fun things with it. The creamy one, my gosh, if you're making dressings and stuff, it's amazing. It's amazing. You can incorporate it into anything. And again, even that medium one is fabulous for like a smoothie or whatever. A little goes a long way. It's considered basically a low-calorie food, and it's been used for, like we said, thousands of years. It's pretty fantastic. I dare you. All right, until we talk again, people, know that you're blessed.